Okay, to make shapes in perspective, what you do is you start off with your horizon line. That is a line straight across the center of your paper. Then you're going to throw in a vanishing point right in the center. Your vanishing point typically does not have to be in the center, but it is a natural place for things to vanish. So go ahead and put it in there. Make an X. Do not make a dot. You're going to always go to the center of your X for your vanishing point. Now, when you are making any shape in perspective, you have to give yourself space to show that perspective. So we're going to just start out with a little kind of square shape. And I'm making sure that I'm high enough above my vanishing point so that I'm able to show my angles going towards or away from that vanishing point. So I'm about 2 inches above, kind of at minimum, 2 inches above my vanishing point. So I have a square shape, and I'm going to make sort of an irregular shape so you can see how shapes and forms will turn. So I'm going to start off nice and high, and I'm going to go across, and I'm going to sort of make a zigzag irregular shape. I'm going to let the inside of the shape face the vanishing point, facing down towards the horizon line. I'm going to zigzag up a few times so I can show multiple angles of the same shape. So then, to make these objects look like they have more dimensions, I'm going to start working on my orthogonal lines. Every time you have a corner that has free and clear open space to go to the vanishing point, you will draw an orthogonal line. Orthogonal lines can only be drawn using a ruler. You're going to lean that pencil up against the ruler, and you're going to draw directly towards the dead center of your vanishing point. You use an X instead of a dot because an X has a dead center, and a dot doesn't necessarily have a consistent center. So from any free and clear open space, I'm going to draw from the corner to the center of my vanishing point. I'm going to shift my ruler, and I'm going to do the same thing again from any free and clear open space. Same thing here. Free and clear open space to the dead center. Now, I can't go here because I'm trying to make this object look like it's three-dimensional, that it's solid. If I go through the object, what have I done? Made it weird. Okay? You don't want to see any exterior lines or interior lines in your shapes. So, same thing here. This shape is the same exact concept. It just happens to be on the opposite side, and it happens to have more corners. So, when you do this, you're going to just make sure that your corner is always lined up with the center of your X, drawing towards the X every single time. You're going to shift your ruler. Your ruler is not going to stay in the same spot because your corners are moving. So making sure that your corner, your X, readjust. Measure twice, draw once. Keep on moving it up. And then to make these objects, these forms, look like they're floating in air, we have to do a little adjustment and erasing and cutting off so we can see the back end of these things. So to do that, do you see how all my lines are running into each other at the center? That's what you want. You want them all to crash at the dead center. They shouldn't go anywhere else except the center. So that's a lot of stuff going on, but it's not that big a deal because all you're doing is following your zigzag. So really simple here. If I have a horizontal line up top, all I do is I put my ruler above it, bring it straight down. Do you see how my level right here is staying the same? Bring it straight down like a little elevator. This line and this line, this edge and this line are parallel with each other, are not ever going to crash into each other. And I just connect my two angles. I do it again over here. It goes horizontal to vertical, so then I go horizontal to vertical. And just look at the side of your paper and make sure that your ruler and your side of your paper are vertical with each other. That's where a lot of folks are messing up. So you need to make sure that everything is parallel. These are parallel, and those guys were parallel. So that's a box. To do this, same exact concept. I'm going to bring my ruler down to a point where I feel comfortable cutting it off. This looks fine to me. Making sure my ruler and my edge of my shape are parallel with each other. I go within that orthogonal space, bring it up. Over, up. So then I need to go over and then up. And then I need to go over, making sure I'm staying horizontal. You can look at your ruler in comparison with the outside of your paper, or you can look at your ruler in comparison to your line at the top of the orthogonal space. You're going to continue to do that, and this is what's going to help make your object look three-dimensional. The thing that's really going to help it look three-dimensional is to get rid, you see how this is vertical, vertical? Is to get rid of any extra orthogonal spaces after the cutoff. So you would erase, don't erase your vanishing point, you're going to need it later for other purposes. But that is the process that you use, the things you need to think about when you're making properly created one-point perspective forms. Okay, there you go.